Okay, so we're gonna talk about integers on the number line. So we talked yesterday or before about how integers are all positive counting numbers, so 0 and up, all positive counting numbers, and their opposites, so 5 and -5, 10 and -10, so on and so forth. The number system organizes numbers. So, why it keeps starting on an yellow. Organizes numbers based on their type and characteristics. So when we talk about integers, we talk about numbers and their opposites. We're going to kind of just talk about some opposites. The opposite of agree is disagree, awake, asleep, outside, inside, laugh, cry, open, or closed, open, weak, strong, loud, quiet, safe, dangerous, down, up, old, young. So all of these words are opposites. Well, like I said, numbers also have opposites. Positive and negative whole numbers are called integers. So the opposite of a positive is a negative and vice versa. So when we're talking about whole numbers and integers, if it's positive, then it's both a whole number and an integer. So it would go in that smallest category of whole numbers. If it's negative, then it's just an integer and a rational number like we talked about before. So -2 is a negative whole number, so it goes in the integer category. 4 is positive, so it is both a whole number and an integer. So 15 would be a whole number and an integer. -6 is just an integer. Okay. 0 is neutral, but it is a whole number, -15. Okay. So when I look at this number line, what do we notice about all the numbers to the left of 0, so going this way? Well, what I notice is they're all negative, right? So all numbers to the left of 0 are negative. And then obviously all numbers to the right of 0 going the other way are positive. So when we talk about opposite, it's just if they tell you the opposite, if they're asking for the opposite of a positive number, it's that same number but negative. If they're asking for the opposite of a negative number, it's that same number but positive. So the opposite of 6 would be -6. The opposite of -5 would be 5. Two numbers 3 away from -1. So if I start at -1 and I go 1, 2, 3, okay, so I have +2. And if I go the other way, 1, 2, 3, I have -4. So both of those numbers are 3 away on the number line from -1. Neither positive or negative, that is 0. 0 is what we call neutral. It's neither positive or negative. The opposite of 2, -2. Two numbers away from, or two numbers 6 away from -3. So I'm going to start at -6, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way, and I get -9. And then start at -3 again and go the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way, and I land at +3. Okay, so you can go in either direction. How is a number related to its opposite? So what's interesting here, a number and its opposite, I'll erase all that, are both the same distance away from 0. So if I go to 5, 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps away from 0. Its opposite, -5, is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from 0. So a number and its opposite are both the same distance away from 0. Okay. All right, next page. So there's different phrases that we hear when we talk about integers. So some of the negative words that you talk about with integers could be like decrease or withdrawal. If you withdraw money from a bank account, then you're taking money out. That would be a negative amount. Loss, expense, so how much something costs you. Below, okay, 0, you might hear neutral, or, ask Ms. Carey about this, for science, a neutron. A neutron has a neutral charge. No, it's not either positive or negative. Positive, you might hear increase. Deposit, so instead of withdrawing money, instead of taking money out, you put money into your account. Gain. Above. For negative, you also have debit. Whereas the opposite for positive would be a credit. A credit is something that someone is owed to you. Okay. So I said neutron for 0. There's also electron for negative. So that's something with an atom with a negative charge, or a proton for positive. Again, you can ask Ms. Carey or Mr. Flick about those, and they'll tell you all about them. Okay. So those are just some words that you might see to help you kind of figure out, okay, this is positive, this is negative. Okay. All right, so now we have some real-world situations down here, and we're going to just write an integer for that situation. So a football player caught a 57-yard pass. If he caught that pass, that means the ball went 57 yards forward in the direction it was supposed to go, so that is a positive 57. If the temperature dropped 15 degrees overnight, that means it went down, right? So that would be a negative 15 degrees. Your account is credited $14. So someone gave you $14. So like when you return something and you don't have your receipt, instead of giving you the cash back or putting the money back on your card, they give you store credit. So that's money that you can use in the store, right? So that's what it means when it credits. So this is a positive 14. A submarine travels at 550 feet below sea level. So that would be 550 below sea level tells me negative. Okay. Carbon has 6 protons. Remember, protons is the positive atom charge, so it is just a positive 6. Overdrafted, real quick, because I'm going to have you guys do that one on your own for number 7. Overdrafted means they took out more money than was in their account. So think about what that would mean. It would be positive or negative. Okay. All right. So you are going to do the last 4. So 6, 7, 8, and 9. On your own and put those answers into the Google form. All right?